Yo guys, what's going on? Adam McKola here. We are live on Adam McKola TV. I don't know what's happened to my subscriber count right there. I'm going to have to change that right now. But nevertheless, we're live. It's the weekend wrap. We got loads to chat about this weekend. Dean, right now you got a logo on your head. You're going to need to just shuffle across a bit, yeah? But we are live, as you can see. Guys, it's been a busy week. Manchester United are going through to the FA Cup semi-finals after we beat Brighton 2-0. We have got Tottenham in the semi-finals at Wembley. And there's been a lot of talk about home advantage and all this on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, I was getting involved in some of that. So we'll be talking about that. Luke Shaw's United future after he was hooked off at half-time. He wasn't injured. The manager's come out and been very critical of him. And Luke Shaw's future looks under doubt again. He's a player that a lot of Manchester United fans want to see be a success, but his future's under doubt again. There was a handful of Premier League games as well around the FA Cup quarter-finals. And of course, Liverpool beat Watford 5-0 with Mo Salah getting, how many did he get? Four goals. The man's on fire at the moment. Even if he does play in Liverpool red, you have to admit that. But is he player of the year? We'll be getting stuck into that chat too. But when I did the FA Cup draw live stream earlier, we spoke about obviously Manchester United against Tottenham. Now, move. The cat's coming and all sorts. My brother's cat's in the room. That needs to do one right away. But nevertheless, United have got Tottenham in the next round, and we want to know, are we favourites? But when I was talking about that, everyone was talking about Luke Shaw, so that had to be the number one topic today. Guys, we've got Josh, Harry and Mohammed, Richard, Mo, Alex, Speakster, and plenty more in the comments. Dean, how you doing? They've obviously seen you on the vlog from yesterday, but how you doing in general? You good? And has it been a good weekend of football?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Like, obviously I'm not as cold today, innit? Like, it's warm in here, but yeah, man, it's good, man. I was surprised, obviously, going to the game, the change and obviously the atmosphere at the game. Obviously, we sat in the what everyone had dubbed in the United away section, and as big as it, like in terms of, obviously it was a quarterfinals FA Cup, so it was a big game. But in terms of our opposition, it wasn't a big game. Like, they're not a big club in it, and in the past when I've gone to Old Trafford and it's not a big team, the crowd are not really up for it. But where we were sitting in that United away section, the atmosphere was crazy, man.
Yeah, and it was really, it did feel like an away day in there, innit?
Yeah, like, to be honest, I was talking to you after the game and I said like how nowadays I think if the atmosphere isn't as good, obviously it impacts your experience, and it's obviously it impacts the way you kind of see, the way you saw the team, I think. And it's because the atmosphere is so good, like obviously I wanted us to win, but even at times as poor as the game was, it was a good day out. And even as cold as it was a good day out.
We didn't feel the cold. We didn't really notice the poor football on show. And we enjoyed when the goals went in. There was flares going off. Everyone, it was constant singing. Do you think United should put that on more often, or is it something that even if they didn't put it on more often, that may then trickle away, and it's pretty much just a result of modern day football, like with the way stadiums are, with the way tickets are sold? What do you think it is? Do you think we need one of those? Because there is a singing section at the moment on the other side. Yeah.
I think they definitely should incorporate that, because to me, it was like you had tickets or whatever, but people were kind of standing where they want. And again, I think at a football game,
our row was about 10 rows back.
Yeah, I think it needs to be more kind of. As I know, health and safety is massive, but in terms of if you've got a certain allocation, if you just sell that many tickets and just say obviously he's sitting in the nearest seat,
on reserve, like some concerts are and things like that.
Because it's like if you go with your mates, obviously that ticket's just apart, and it's like that would ruin our experience of the game if we can't celebrate with you. Or, you know what I'm saying? So I think they should incorporate it more. I think just in terms of having more like-minded people, in terms of from 10-15 minutes before the game, outside the turnstiles, even at half time, like the atmosphere, like, you know what I'm saying, it was a good vibe, and I think they should do more to kind of accommodate those type of fans.
I definitely agree with that. Whether it's selling season tickets, like I said, and having unreserved seating, which I don't know, are they concerned about that? But then they can't say they're concerned about that and then not being able to know who's sitting where when people sell their tickets anyway. Like, so you don't know who's sitting where at a time. But you can, of course, like, I know that they've sent letters to people in the past, like, if someone's done something from that seat, the season ticket holder's got a letter, and they wouldn't be able to do things like that, pinpoint blame. And the club ultimately want to be able to do those things, even if we don't see them as important. It was a great day in there, though. That's why I didn't really feel like come out of there. And there was a lot of people that were... The first guy I spoke to on fan cams was like, Mourinho's rubbish. And I was like, I didn't really feel that because I enjoyed the win. We were singing Mourinho's Red Army and that, you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, again, I think it's because if you're in a section that's, I don't think, that has a good atmosphere and that, again, like, you are going to... Or maybe you're just going to see it more negatively. Again, I think we won the game in the end, and obviously it's a results. We're in a results business, so we came and got what we wanted. Do we play as well as we wanted to? No, but
and Jose said that himself. He came out. He was very critical of the performance, and something Scholes said in his post-match coverage. We've both watched that since. He said like it felt like the team, the post-match reaction was swapped from Tuesday. Do you think like? Regardless of how we play today, Jose was going to come out. Well, yesterday, Jose was going to come out and say something because the players aren't as sensitive now as they were Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think Mourinho is a clever guy in it, so I think he probably wants to come with that kind of criticism on a high, if you like, in terms of, because then he can say, well, obviously you at least you did win the game. You know what I'm saying? So there is positives to take from it, but I think in that sense, I think that's not mind games, but I think that's just him being kind of smart with the way when he does criticise the players. Because I think if had he criticised them before, to be honest, I don't think we got the best reaction out of the players. But we got.
He said players were hiding behind defenders. They weren't playing the way they wanted to. Matic was an island. There was no personality around him. He really, without looking like he was ranting and sounding like he was ranting, he really laid into them. Like, I've heard this saying a lot of times. The team reflects the manager. Yeah. So, isn't it up to him?
But you can lead a horse to water in it, but you can't make it drink in it. Like, and it's like it's the same with a football team. He can tell them this is what I want you to do, etc. But if you get onto the pitch and you're scared or whatever to do what he's actually like, if you're a forward and he's saying, I want you to beat your first man, if you don't want to do that, then...
But are you telling me then that on Tuesday he wasn't telling the players to do those things? Get in between the lines and do all this? Because it didn't look like it.
I just don't think we had... I think Sevilla are a decent team, and I just don't think our personnel was right for that game. And obviously it didn't work, so even if you did say that, maybe that did happen, but I didn't think it was as bad as you were saying in regards to yesterday's game. So I thought... Like, the movement between the lines was alright, to be fair. Like, Lingard and Martial, they was getting the ball. It was just every time, like, in the final third, I just thought he was awful. In terms of our final pass and things like that. And it's like, I think the movement was there, so I don't think there was more reason to not hide against Brighton. Brighton aren't as good a team as Sevilla, so, again, I think it's like he's probably, like, I think the players probably know what he's talking about, but I think it more so it did happen against Sevilla. Like, we were seeing Europe, and so people can get intimidated, but I don't know, I just think that, again, like with me, it's like, as much as people want Martial, I know you're a big fan of Martial, and it's like, there's your chance, and the players kind of don't take it. And then that's why he's going to draw back for Alexis. Like, he's going to draw for Alexis on the left. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll juggle who goes on the right, innit? Like,
but Alexis hasn't been performing either. I understand that if Alexis has been performing, but you can't tell me, like, Martial yesterday was better than Alexis has been in any of the last 4 or 5 games.
I disagree.
Even if he didn't do much. Yeah. There was that one bit of play that he had with Mata where I thought, Sanchez hasn't done anything like that in his whole time here. Like, and he was retaining possession. Yeah. When Sanchez is playing poorly, we do not retain possession. Yeah, and he holds his position on the pitch. So we have more balance, I feel, as well.
Yeah, maybe we did. I'm just saying, like, for me, I think the way Mourinho looks at it is like he's thinking, well, Martial is your chance. You know what I'm saying? Use your chance now to confirm to me that, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't... as much as, like I say, I think we won, so there's positives there. But I think individually, I think certain players need to up their game, and again, that's why it's like, even with some fans, like I say, some fans want more. Obviously, again, I love Lingard, but to me, I don't know. I think me personally,
second top goal scorer, you know.
Yeah, but it's like it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one, but for me, that's why I think he'll always resort back to what he believes is going to get him results. And I think he thinks like Alexis, for example, over Martial or Rashford. I think he just thinks he's more clinical, even though he's only scored one goal for us. But again, I think the statistics are going against him. I think his effort's been there, but I think sometimes the other players around him, I don't think, you probably may disagree, but I don't think some of the players around him are on his level, because like I said, it's like he set one up for one matter. He chips one matter against Liverpool. It's like if you bury it, it's like Sanchez has an assist.
But then like he's had chances when people have set him up and he hasn't taken it. Like I don't think his performances have been. I'm not saying Sanchez isn't the player we bought. I still think we brought a fantastic player to the club, and I think we'll get the most of him next season. He gets a pre-season, no World Cup, fully fit, fully rested. I think it'll be a great time for him then. But I don't think we can say Alexis Sanchez deserves a place in the team. A player that I thought we could said deserved a place in the team after around the December period was Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho said he was the best left back in the world or something stupid like that. I think he potentially is one of them. And I think he's potentially the best left back in the Premier League. But he hasn't been playing. Yeah. He plays yesterday for 45 minutes and he gets absolutely ripped to pieces. Now, I'll give my thoughts on this. I've already given them. But I think it's a joke, firstly, that he can do that to Luke Shaw. How can you criticise Luke Shaw for that performance when he wasn't even that bad?
Yeah.
Ashley Young, come on, I know he got a very good assist. But defensively and as a left back, he wasn't really any better than Luke Shaw was. Luke Shaw had a hand in the first goal as well.
Yeah.
I find it nuts that he can lay into Luke Shaw and he didn't lay into people like Fellaini, Smalling, even Alexis for bad performances when they've had worse individual performances in recent weeks and they haven't got dug out. Luke Shaw plays for the first time in God knows how long. 45 minutes. He does okay. Not great, but he does okay. And he gets ripped to pieces. That tells me Jose Mourinho doesn't want Luke Shaw anyway. He could be the best left back in the world. He could be in form. Jose Mourinho doesn't want Luke Shaw. He just doesn't like him. And I find that sad. And I think it comes back to the summer and January when we heard that we were in for a left back. The club didn't get one. And potentially, this is me guessing, not knowing, Jose Mourinho has wanted a big money fullback. We've said no. We've got Luke Shaw. We have to get this guy through. United, as a club, we pride ourselves on developing young English talent. We do not want to be seen to be letting go of a player that was better when he arrived than he is now, and he's a young English talent. Yeah. And I just feel like the club don't want to put their hands in their pocket for a big money left back when we've got one, and Jose doesn't want Shaw. So as a result, he's kind of just forcing the narrative that Luke Shaw isn't good enough for Manchester United. And it's not true.
Yeah.
Your thoughts in the comments. Get them in.
Obviously we don't know, because obviously we don't know what goes on in the background.
I was guessing. Guesswork from what I see.
Like from the outside, I can only hope that this is some kind of like tough love that Jose is giving him, you know, to kind of mold him moving forward, probably mentally more so, because I think he's got all the attributes to be a top left back. Like, to be honest, I think prior to his injury, I think when Van Gaal was in charge, I thought he was best left back in the Prem. I thought he offered us so much going down the left, because he can. To me, when as soon as he goes past the halfway line, he's like a winger, because he can beat players, and like some wingers don't do that. Like as much, Ashley Young, funny enough, happens to be kind of his replacement, but notoriously when he was at us earlier, you know, it's like for me, he never really attacked anyone, and then here you have this left back who loves to get at people, and it's kind of the United. That's what we want to see, and I want to see overlapping wing backs, and it's like Mourinho. Luke Shaw, I don't think he's the best defender. Don't get me wrong, but it just kind of baffles me why Mourinho don't like him. And in terms of he plays Ashley Young, and I don't know. I don't know what his thinking is there. And I know you're saying obviously he wants rid of him, but again I've said to you before, like who does he really see out there as he's loads better than Luke Shaw?
We've been linked to Sandro. We've been linked to Danny Rose. Have we been linked to anyone else? Really?
Not from what I've seen. And it's like Sandro he's a top quality left back, but he's never done it in the Prem. So just the physicality or something like that could just totally just knock him or something. So he's a gamble, and he's a lot of money. Because I'm sure Chelsea offered about 60 million for him, didn't get him. And then Rose, although I think he's a good left back, yes, I don't think he's as good going forward as Shaw is. I think he's a better defender than him. But again, I want to see him. I do want to see a good defender, but we need to you need to be offering something on that left wing. And is it for the money they talked about for Rose? Is it even worth that? And then we're talking about giving him Shaw as well. It's crazy. Like for me, I think Rose is on the same level as Ryan Bertrand. At
you said this earlier, yeah. What do you guys think? Is Rose and Bertrand on the same level? Obviously, Bertrand's on the Champions League. We mentioned that. Do we think he's on that level? What are your thoughts on him? Who is the best? We got the subscriber count back up, by the way. We're 151 subscribers away from 48,000. That's 2,151 away from 50,000. We're getting closer and closer. Mo Wadder says, oh my God, Rose is 10 times better going forward. Richard says Shaw is better than Danny Rose. Child of Chiefs is Shaw is in a lose-lose situation, won't play, and if he does, he'll just get dropped.
Your man had a good comment there.
Which one?
The same as Shaw, as the same as Shaw, but don't get the flack. He's a Shanak, somewhat. Yeah, that one there.
Young does the same thing as Shaw, but hardly gets the stick. Shaw is an overall better left back. That one.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Fully agree with that. I don't have anything against Ashley Young. I think he's a great lad to have around. He's signed a contract. I can see the sense in that happening, but ultimately he's not a left back. He's a winger playing out of position, and Luke Shaw is the better left back. Even in the games that Luke Shaw has played this season, I see him as the better left back. Adam says Luke Shaw is 100 times better than Rose, and that's not me saying that. That's Adam Setter. Might as well go for Alaba, says Lucian. Give Darmian a chance.
Alaba's a good shout, but he's from Bayern Munich. He's not gonna. Well, he's not coming. I don't think
for the Premier League money. He might be on it.
Bayern Munich probably.
I know.
A lot there, and I don't know. But again, it's like how much is he gonna cost? And it's like as good as he is, how much better is he? How much is better is he than Shaw? You know what I'm saying? He's not like he's twice the player. You know what I'm saying? Like he's obviously there's fine margins between top players, but it's like again there's other areas of the team I think we need to address it, because as much as I think we talk about left backs, it's like Valencia on the right. Yeah, I love him. Like do
we need to replace him this summer? Fosu Mensah come back?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe we don't have to buy somebody, but you have to start. Like we can't think. You can't think. Like he showed in the Champions League. It's like I don't think you're not gonna be winning things with Valencia at right back. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna win the league. Like you look at City. Yeah,
I think we can win the league with him at right back. But I don't think we can. Yeah,
but you know, like
we need to replace him
today. I don't think he can. Like I look at City. I hate to talk about City like this, but it's like they got Kyle Walker. He's the best right back probably in world football. You know them ones, and it's like we need someone. Obviously, he's not available. But we need someone. Where would you put Valencia in that conversation in terms of right backs in the world? I know. I think Jose came out and said something before about he thinks he's one of the best right backs in the world, but I don't.
Cockney Red says Fosu Mensah needs to start right back next season. I'd like to see Fosu come and challenge Antonio Valencia for his spot, because Fosu can also provide cover in centre half and central midfield as well, which is a benefit too. On the topic of Luke Shaw, there's a lot of chat about Luke Shaw.
You mentioned Cameron Borthwick Jackson.
Peder says that we were overrating Luke Shaw. Richard says, what about Cameron Borthwick Jackson? Had a lot of injury problems, hasn't had ideal loans. He was a decent fullback in terms of getting the ball in the box, and his crossing ability is probably better than anyone in the team at the moment. That's why we called him Cameron Beckham Jackson. But I think the ship's probably sailed on that one, isn't it?
Cameron
Borthwick-Jackson.
Yeah, I think he went to Wolves. I think he went to Wolves
and Leeds.
No, I don't think it turned out well. But again,
when he went to Wolves, their manager changed.
And
I think when Leeds' manager changes every week, so you're a bit fucked if you go to Leeds on loan. But he hasn't had ideal loan moves.
Yeah, so he's a bit unfortunate. But I think, again, I was surprised when that Jose didn't kind of include him when he came. But again, I kind of trust his judgment. But I think he's got a good whip on him. I know that.
Mr. Bills says, recall Axel Tuanzebe. That can happen. And I know he's played at right back, pocketed Alexis Sanchez when he did. But I don't think Axel Tuanzebe is going to be the man for right back. And I do think he could come back in and be a part of the squad for next season at centre half. D.L. Gittins, what are you talking about here, mate? You're saying, what about the coach? No blame for the coach. We've been talking about fullbacks. What are you talking about? Can you let me know, please? What are you blaming the coach for? No problem discussing it. Just let us know. Ryan Sessonon, says Rossi M.
He's young now. I think he's class, but are you gonna put him straight away? If you know what I'm saying,
you'd have to buy him and probably just. If Fulham can Fulham still get promoted? I know they've got no chance of automatic, but.
Yeah, and I thought they'd definitely come up through the playoffs. Yeah,
playoffs potentially. If they came to the Prem and he had a season there, that'd be good. You know, like, because then you get to see him at close quarters, like how good he is. You get me? But then obviously his price goes up, all that stuff. But get a deal in advance.
But again, it's like short. Like again, about
how
much better is even better than.
That's
Shaw,
what's mad to me.
Better is he better than Shaw,
but we have to look for because of Jose Mourinho and his dislike. Jose Mourinho is not going anywhere. Whether we like it or not, Jose Mourinho is not going anywhere. Now look, I don't think Jose Mourinho should leave Manchester United. I'm not saying that, but I hate that he doesn't like Luke Shaw. Like I hate that we have to talk about the possibility of Luke Shaw leaving and we need a left back because Luke Shaw's the man for left back. Someone says Patrick Van Arnold. No,
I do like Van Arnold, but he's not that. Nah, he's not a United level.
Habib says, imagine if Luke Shaw was 6'4". D.L. Gittins says his job is to develop the players, he's not developing them. See, I disagree because some players have improved under him. Luke Shaw hasn't been playing under any manager really. Can't just blame Jose for that. Can you? I think he should be playing him. I'm not disagreeing with that.
I just think that if he's doing, for example, what you said, where he's kind of like he wants to show how poor he is, so he can have us buy another left back. Like, why don't you just let him have 10? Why don't you just let him have the last? We're not going to win the league.
Scared that he's going to prove him right.
We're not going to win the league, innit? So like, you might as well just go in the league. We'll go with you. And then if we're whack or something, then maybe look to get rid of him. But I just think with a run of games, and I think if he knew he was playing, I think Shaw would just show you what he was showing before. Like,
Mo, what the fuck are you chatting about? Let me know, please. Apparently I have my blinders on. I don't know about what. Is it because I manage to see sense sometimes and just like balance up good and bad at times? I don't know. Maybe you just want me to explode. But I'm not about to do that. Lingard has developed into Lingardinho, says Richard. Debbie Mitchell is going well at Hearts until his injury. Yeah, exactly, James. He's got injured and it's a bad injury as well. Hopefully he'll be back soon. He did the same thing with Mickey, says Jesse. Nah, I disagree with that. Mkhitaryan got a run of about 11 games and he was just shitting every single one of them. And then we got offered Alexis Sanchez. What are you doing? Don't start rewriting the narrative now because Alexis Sanchez had a few bad games. We shouldn't have let Mkhitaryan go and we should have let... Don't. I hate when people do that because 98% of the people would have said swap Alexis Sanchez for Mkhitaryan. So don't now start chatting about otherwise.
I've seen a few. There's someone who said a comment about Valencia needs a winger in front of him, for example. I think, to be honest, like, it's not just Valencia. I think even, for example, with Shaw, but I think the way we kind of play, because we're not playing, although we're playing like someone on the wings up front, there's no one really overlapping. So it's like we literally tell these fullbacks, so like, like you've kind of got to go forward.
It's the way we play with the fullback and our wingers are too far apart for that to happen.
But that's what I'm saying, and I think that again, like if you're a wing back, it's like obviously if I can be rated better if I'm whipping in balls and stuff, it's like I don't really get the opportunity now. Or if I do, it's like there's two men in front of me, and I'm having to try and beat him and put in a good ball. And for example, Valencia, he's not the best crosser anyway, but So I think whoever was saying about the coach, and it's like maybe that's the way Jose sets up. Like I don't know, like if it's even favourable for like a Shaw to be successful, in the way we're playing at the moment. I don't know. Because it's not like Ashley Young's bursting, getting down to the byline. You know what I'm saying? Like he's coming to say 5-10 yards outside the box and looking to cut back and whip it, if anything, or if not, he's just recirculating the ball in it. Like I don't know, man. That's not so. Like again, his Rose. How good's Rose gonna look in? I don't know. Something needs to happen. I think because we just need to get Shaw back in the team. I mean, doing what he was doing when he first came in, man.
I think if you're going to do that, you need to get Mourinho if you want Shaw to play. I think that's where it's got to now. And I was always kind of hopeful. I was kind of thinking, it's just a bit of tough love. Shaw needs it. But then...
Well, we'll see. He's got to sign a contract. He's going to have to sign a contract soon, isn't it? So it's like, we're gonna know, innit? Like, we're going to know what's happening soon. I think he's coming to that stage, isn't it? Like, so
Lalu says, how is Sanchez failing so bad? Is there an explanation for it at the moment, or is it just that the team's performing badly and he's suffered as a result? I
think he wasn't playing much for Arsenal coming to January anyway, so obviously that doesn't help. Obviously you come to a new team and the team's not playing that well, so I think all those factors haven't helped him. And obviously you don't really like, you're not gonna get that, that kind of telepathic connection between players like some people have. Like some people you can see, like we say like Lingard, him and Lingard seem to have good link up, but his link up with other players doesn't really seem to be on the same kind of level. And again, I think that will take time. And I think even to adjust into how we play is going to be different, say, from Arsenal. So there's a lot of things.
Right, Dean, question time. And it's going out to the people. Will Luke Shaw be at Old Trafford in a Man United shirt next season?
I think so. I don't know. Like I think so because I just can't see us selling him. I said to you off camera that United seem to include him a lot in some of the marketing they do, and I just think that if they thought he was leaving, I just think they're choosing another player. And I think because he's English and there's obviously these English quotas and stuff, and the fact that even if we have to buy another English player, English players have another kind of value as well to them. So it's like I just think somehow, like I say, that's why I'm hoping that it's just like this tough love that Jose's giving him, and and he's gonna be bulletproof next season in his mind, and then he's just gonna come back or something. But
Thomas says no unless Jose is trying to break him and rebuild him. Cross it. Hold on. Sure, we'll not be here next season unless big change, says Joe. Nah, says Rossi. Yes, says Joe B. ESP Ben says no, he's gone. I hope it changes, but no, says Thomas. Paul says no. Kyle says when you throw Mourinho out, that's not even an answer. Mujib Ahmed says no. Yes, it's a Jose bluff, says Daniel. Bluff. He bluffed him by taking him off at half time. That don't bluff nobody. I don't think Luke Shaw's going to be here next season, and it will hurt me.
Is it more important for us, for example, to replace our left back than our centre back in Smalling? Isn't it not important? Because even
I'm glad you said that.
Isn't again? It's not nothing personal against Smalling, but we need another centre back who's on Bailly's level. If we had two Baillys, then I think that's
two buys is too much hotness. All right, I know what you mean. Someone who's on top quality.
Someone who's in his kind of bracket, and it's to me that's more important. Because as much as I think you have to be proper strong down the spine of the team and just centrally or whatever, and I think that's what Jose's tried to address. And a lot of his players he's bought have been central, but Lindelof ain't worked, and I don't think he will work. And again, I know he's only been his first season, but we're not talking about him and how poor he's kind of been. Yeah. But we're talking about Shaw or whatever, and it's for me, I think centre back's more important for us to address because I think it's shown we've got Ashley Young who's not a left back, and we're kind of doing all right.
Yeah.
So it shows you that you don't really have to have a top. But it's when you have a poor centre back, you know what I'm saying, you can just get instantly found out. You know what I'm saying? Smalling's cost us several times, and it's again, I think there's more important areas to address. I think with maybe the centre midfield, I think getting a player in there, I think is more important than replacing our left back. You know, you know what I'm saying? Securing David De Gea, I think for however, you know what I'm saying, we need to get him tied to a long-term contract. I think there's way more pressing issues than replacing our left back. For me, that's the only thing that baffles me about it.
I definitely agree, but he's gone, is what my opinion is. And moving on from that topic now to something that's a little bit more Well, it's not going to really be Manchester United because there's not many candidates from Manchester United. But we're going to be talking player of the year. Now, I'd say there's 3 candidates, 3 standout candidates. Do you agree with me? Kevin De Bruyne, Mo Salah, Harry Kane, until his injury. And the votes are done. The votes would have been done before his injury.
Okay, I think you've got to throw David Silva into that mix somewhere. Like,
why?
Because I think he's been class. Like, I think he's as good as. I'm not saying he would win it, but I'm just saying like I think David Silva's on the similar, like, obviously.
But I feel like I'm a big fan of David Silva, but I feel like when I do these things, I feel if Kevin De Bruyne would win Player of the Year at City. So then there's no point bringing Silva into it. That's like my opinion of it. DL Gittin says Kante. Is that because he had a good game today?
What?
Fuck it.
I'm a Kante fan, but look at where.
Ken Murray says Frassi. Samuel says Salah. It's his first season. Come on. Mo Salah says Lalu. Richard says Mo Salah. Stanley says Salah. De Bruyne says Michael. Salah, too many goals to ignore, says Mo. Salah by far, but is in Young's pocket, says Joe. Pascal Gross, am I right? Statman Dave says Pig Shitsy. Yes, great shout from D. Says Kyle. Why vote before the season is over? That's just daft. I agree with that. Kane has been consistent for 3 seasons now. Not a 1 season. See,
that doesn't make me win it for him. That doesn't make you win it for him because he did it 3 seasons.
But people still saying this to people. Kane's not a 1 season wonder. Everyone knows, and I don't even think many people said Kane was a 1 season wonder. What people said about Harry Kane was when he scored all them goals in that season, they said, let's see if he does it again before getting excited. That's what that's what I remember most people saying. No one ever said he's a 1 season wonder, but that narrative seems to get pushed. But Harry Kane, Mo Salah, Kevin De Bruyne, you're going with David Silva.
Nah, I'm not. I wouldn't go for.
Who are you going for?
If to win that, I would say you have to give it to Salah. I think.
I like this because we both disagree.
Yeah, I think it has to go to Salah. I think he's doing it. De Bruyne and De Bruyne, for example. I don't think Kane wins it. I think it's either Salah or De Bruyne for me. But as much as influential De Bruyne's been, I think you're playing in a way better team. And I think some of the things that Salah's done, like single-handedly, like he's done things and got Liverpool into situations where they're not if he's not playing. And like he's in his own individual brilliance, like, and even I don't think because this is the thing that I'm kind of segueing back to United, but this is again why I think, for example, United fans, because we're not having individual shine, and like, is, for example, Mo Salah's form down to, I don't know, is that down to Klopp saying, I think it's also Salah, you know what I'm saying, it's his own individual brilliance where he's just like, regardless of what your man says,
he's been given the license to be able to do those things though.
But you're on a pitch, and so you can kind of do what you want anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if your man says,
sure you can.
No, but it's like a gamble if it comes off or not. And it's like I can do it, but it's like if it don't work, then you know what I mean. But I think it has to go for Salah. To be honest, I think he scored that many goals and he's been that influential in a poorer team. And like I say, some of the things he's done have just been outrageous. Like he scored several goals and he just rinsed couple man and then did a neat finish on it. Like. So I would give it to Salah, to be honest. I think his first season in England as well, a lot of people will struggle, and it's like, the bedding in. His
first season at Liverpool, people are going to correct you in the comments, so I'm going to just get there.
When he played for Chelsea, how much times did he play for Chelsea? Like, he wasn't a starter, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
so Salah's got 36 goals, 12 assists in 41 games this season for Liverpool. Kevin De Bruyne's got 11 goals, 19 assists in 43 games. Contributed to 30 goals, Kevin De Bruyne. Salah's contributed to 48 goals. You're saying Mo Salah. I totally agree with all the points that you made on why he's that good, because he is very good. 28 goals and 10 assists in 30 Premier League games. Absolutely ridiculous. I'd go for Kevin De Bruyne though. One, because of when the votes are done. And I feel like Kevin De Bruyne done a lot of his work. Like, I know Mo Salah's been consistent throughout the season, but a lot of like crazy shit that he's done as in this side of 2018 as well. I think Kevin De Bruyne was getting a lot of the headlines before Christmas, And I think Kevin De Bruyne has also done it in some huge games for Manchester City, which will culminate in them winning trophies. And for that reason, I think he will then win Player of the Year. Because trophies have come from it. Now, I know that might not be right and all that stuff, but I think for that reason alone, he will get it. You see with Ballon d'Or, it goes to the person that has won trophies with their team, even if they've not necessarily been the best player that year. Because Ronaldo and Messi, some years Ronaldo has probably been better than Messi, but Messi's won the Champions League, so and vice versa as well. Like, you get me? So not just before the Messi Ronaldo shit starts. I fucking hate mentioning either of those players, but that's why I think De Bruyne will get it.
I agree with that to an extent, because in terms of obviously if City are going to win the league, so it's like Salah, whatever your one sort of thing, but looking actual on individual brilliance, I think, and just in if we're talking about the individual, like we're not talking about teams now, you know what I'm saying? I think it has to go to. I think it's like you say he's involved in 48 goals. That's ridiculous. You mentioned Kevin De Bruyne's been involved in 30. That's nuts as well, but 48 goals.
38 goals has been involved in the Premier League in 30 games. Kevin De Bruyne 21 in 30 games.
That's nuts. Like, and who foresaw this? Who foresaw Salah being top? Who thought that?
I never. I thought he was a good player that would probably get like 10 goals, 10 assists or something. I never thought he would get this many goals and assists. He was a bargain as well.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like he's not even, and that's he's not even classed as a striker, and he's
not. He doesn't play up front, does he?
He's putting them numbers up, and your man's not a
striker numbers up.
If you're not a striker, you get me. That's on like Lukaku ain't been that influential.
Lukaku hasn't had that many chances creating for him, to be honest.
He's probably played similar minutes, and he's playing like, you know what I'm saying.
He's playing a different team, innit?
Yeah,
Lukaku played for Liverpool,
but he's a striker, so you're predominantly more.
No, I hear what you're saying. So. And Lukaku should be on 30 by now. But talking about Lukaku, I did a great thread of tweets today about Romelu Lukaku, and he's on 25 goals for the season. His greatest tally ever in a single season is 26 goals in his final season at Everton. So he's 1 away from equaling his best ever tally, 2 away from bettering it, and he's 5 goals away from hitting 30 goals for Manchester United in his first season. That would be some feat. Now, I know because of the numbers Kane, Salah are putting up, it doesn't look great. But take this into consideration. Only 11 Manchester United players have ever scored 30 goals in one season. The last man to do it was Robin Van Persie. Before that, it was Wayne Rooney. He's done it a number of times, twice. Rue Van Nistelrooy done it a number of times. There's been a few players. I know Brian McKola did it in the 80s, but before that, it was like 60s and 50s and that. So it's a rare feat for United strikers, any striker, to hit 30 plus goals, and Lukaku could do that. So I don't think the numbers of other strikers should make us look down on Lukaku. And I think Lukaku's form has suffered with Manchester United. We haven't created enough opportunities for him. He's nowhere near, though, the numbers these guys have put up. And these guys have been absolutely phenomenal and deserve to be there for Player of the Year. Dean is saying Mo Salah. I am saying Kevin De Bruyne. And Jay O'Connell says De Bruyne has loads of pre-assists.
yeah, that's true. But what would Salah have then? Like, you know what I'm saying? True. Like, I don't know if it's. I think they're both not saying it's paid. You have to choose between them. But I think if you deny Salah, I think that's outrageous. Like, I'll be like,
I don't think he's gonna win it. I think he's gonna get.
But even with that, it's like
Liverpool fans will be crying. It will be beautiful.
But even that, it's like he's kind of obviously like the voting system is what it is. But like, I just think it'd be a travesty if I don't even. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Liverpool, but I think that'd be a travesty if Salah didn't win that. To be honest, like,
I'm looking forward to when he doesn't win it. I don't think he'll win it. I don't mind if he does because he deserves it. But I think Kevin De Bruyne's got this one sewn up. Guys, what do you think? Raf can crash, says Troy Deeney. Stanley says Salah, 14 league goals for Lukaku is a bit that lets him down, says Charlie Chief. Salah to Barca, says INFC. Gavin says Salah to win it. Do you think Salah will leave Liverpool in the summer? Or do you think they'll hold on to them for at least another season?
I think it depends on if who come in for him. Like, I don't think Barca are gonna go for him. I think you said. Like, I can't really see, because as sick as he is, I just don't think for those teams. I think you have to kind of have like some kind of, like a brand, like, you know what I'm saying. Like, you still ain't that massive, you know what I'm saying, in terms of name, like you're not Neymar or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I think obviously they've got like Dembele and that, so I can't see him going there. Is he going to go to Madrid? I don't think so. You're not going to go to anyone else in England, I don't think. So who are you going to go to? So I think he'll end up staying at Liverpool, to be honest. I think he'll probably get a new contract, to get some nice terms. And just probably stay. I reckon he'll probably stay there, to be honest.
Because the fans have really taken to him as well, so he'll probably find it hard to leave after one season. And if he does agree to leave, he'll probably be like, I'll give you another season and then I'll do one or something. But I don't think he'll go.
I think obviously.
And they've just recently taken a lot of money from Coutinho, do you?
Yeah, I think obviously I think he probably look to stay in it. I just think that even this is where he's been on fire. He's been on fire, and so I just don't think if he's not broke, don't fix it. I don't think. No, because I don't think Barcelona or Madrid are in. And
he's hit the form of his life at Liverpool. So,
but why would you change that?
Yeah. Guys, we got 300 people watching. We got less than 100 likes. So surely we can get 150 likes. Make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing as well. We're nearly wrapped up for today. I want to talk about the FA Cup semi-final draw. Manchester United got Tottenham. Chelsea got Southampton. First of all, who do you think will go through between Chelsea and Southampton? Sparky against his former club?
You'd have to say Chelsea. Chelsea. I think Chelsea would be too strong for him, to be honest. I don't think. Well, it'd be interesting to see the impact that Hughes has. I watched some of the game today, and they looked alright, innit? Also, they're playing lower league opposition, innit? So we don't know, but it'd be interesting to see how they do react to him in the league, because I think they have got good players, to be honest. I know I think they're 17th, I think, in the Prem. I think they've got enough to get out of it, innit? And again, I think the league's probably going to take more importance over the cup, as much as probably Hughes would want to win it. I just think you're going to end up having to rest players probably on that game, or but it's only one game now and then the finals at the end of the season, so it's one extra game in between all those fixtures. Yeah. And if they do get a few wins in the league, they're going to be up for that. You get me? It's at Wembley, so it's not like it's played at Chelsea's ground. So I think they've got. I do agree with you. I think Chelsea will go through, but I do think it's going to be a Man United Chelsea final. People are writing this off already, talking about home advantage. I don't agree with that. Spurs haven't got home advantage. One, there'll be equal amount of fans, if not more, Man United fans, because we always get more tickets. United fans will be in the Spurs, and we know that will happen. And secondly, we've won trophies there. They haven't. I don't get why people fear going to Wembley. I know we got battered there in the league this season, but that just means we'll be more prepared not to make that happen this time around. It's important after the international break we get Paul Pogba back into the team, get him fit, get him flowing, get him back in form, get the team back in form, because we'll need to be in form to beat him. But I'm confident we will beat him, and I think it'll be a United-Chelsea final. Yeah, I'm hoping obviously we do. Obviously we'll see on the day, but I'm hoping we'll beat Spurs. But I think anything could happen. I think again, I think it just depends on the day. If Mourinho, whoever he does play, the players need to step up to the mark, or you need to be, because at the same time Spurs are a good team. So I think it'd be a tight game regardless. I think from the way we played at Wembley previously, I think obviously we need to change that. I think McTominay could probably help in that game. If he's just add him into the midfield, but it's going to be a tough game. It'll be interesting to obviously see if Harry Kane's back, because if he's not,
apparently his expected return is a week before that fixture. Yeah. So if there's any setbacks in his recovery, but his recovery date's usually later than they expect anyway. So yeah, apparently he'll be back for that game. But I still think United will go through, and I think it'll be a United-Chelsea final. Guys, we have just about hit 100 likes. Thank you for that. Make sure you're liking, sharing and subscribing. Of course, there won't be a weekend wrap next week. It's international break. So we're going to bring you the first straight up podcast. I'll let you know where you can find that. And I might stream it on here and then upload it to the new YouTube channel or something like that. I'll do something. We'll sort it out. But yeah, Dean, any final thoughts before we go? At the end of what's been an up and down week, we beat Liverpool. We're out of the Champions League, but we're going to a semi-final.
Yeah, so it still feels a bit mad, innit? Because the Sevilla game kind of left a sour taste in the mouth. In terms of how, like, obviously we, not to keep harping on, but I just don't think well, if it's a boxing match, innit, I don't really think we threw many punches, and I just think moving forward, there's a lesson to be learned. But
would have got a purse taken off us.
Yeah, but obviously the end of the week was good. Like I say, like going to the game, I'm more optimistic because, like I say, we was in the ground and like I say, that the atmosphere was good.
And that's how it'll be at Wembley as well. I think.
I think obviously again, like the fans kind of like the fans are a part of it, innit? Like you can impact the team. So I think people need to think about that as well in terms of how they can impact the team. It's like if we create a good atmosphere or make it hard for teams to come into where we're at, or if we make it intimidating, I think we can affect it. But like I say, like I'm optimistic and obviously drawn to a close. I was just gonna say the only thing I was gonna say is with the semi-finals cup and the FA Cup. Just my point that I just don't think that semi-finals should be played at Wembley, and I think that they should go back to the old style of obviously playing it around in
Villa Park and Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Definitely agree with that. It's shit at Wembley. Leave the final at Wembley. But they need to recruit that piece.
Yeah,
so
that
fortunately, we're stuck there for the meantime. Anyway, guys, that has been it for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Follow Dean on Twitter as well. His Twitter handle is below us. Make sure you're subscribing as well. For now, though, we're out of here. Subscribe. Straight Up podcast next week. Peace.